Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melody. I am a holistic iridologist and natural health practitioner. Today I'm making a video on a very exciting topic. Some of you may have heard of it before, and for others this is very new. But today I will be talking about regenerative detoxification. So, what is regenerative detoxification? Why have you never heard of it before? This is very exciting. It's a topic that allows you to become your own doctor, your own healer, and help yourself regenerate your own body. So it's very exciting. It is one of the best methods for preventative care possible, healthcare. And today I'm going to be breaking that down. So, with that being said, let's dive in. What is regenerative detoxification? So, if we break down those words, it is detoxification to regenerate your body. Regenerative detoxification. So, a lot of times when I tell people about regenerative detoxification, or that's something I specialize in, people automatically think of detoxing from drugs, withdrawals, healing a drug addiction of some type. However, detoxification is just a very important part of health and healing our bodies. So, with that being said, it is not just to detox drugs out, it is actually to detox our body to get it back to a state of homeostasis so the body can do what it does best, which is heal itself. Since our body is one of the most magical machines ever, it is a self-healing organism, which this means if given the right circumstances, our bodies will regenerate themselves. That's what they do naturally by design. If you think about it, if you get a cut on your arm or wherever, a broken bone, your body naturally heals itself. It creates a scab and it heals it up. It will repair that bone back together. It mends it. So this is what our body naturally does. It wants to heal itself. It wants to be in a happy, homeostasis, thriving state of being. So, therefore, it will do so if we give it the right circumstances to do so. Unfortunately, today in our world, we are completely overloaded with toxins and harmful things that make our bodies imbalanced. A lot of this has to do with food. We are what we eat. And unfortunately, our entire lives, we have been misled on what to eat. What is the proper food for humans? This is what's really causing most of the disease that we see all around us. So the analogy I like to use is cars. Cars works really well, but you would not be putting, let's say, diesel fuel in a regular gasoline vehicle. It would destroy that vehicle, and vice versa. You do not put regular gasoline into a diesel motor engine. They do not work. So when you look at our bodies, half the battle is knowing what is the right, correct fuel for our bodies. If we are putting in the wrong fuel, we will be experiencing the breakdown of this machine that is our bodies, just like the car analogy. So, therefore, the first step in regenerative detoxification is learning what is the proper food for humans. We have been led astray, very astray for our entire lives. So the first step of this process is unprogramming everything that we think we know about food and health and healthy food, And the SAD American diet, which is the standard American diet, which acronym is SAD, SAD. So we have to disentangle those lies and relearn the proper food pyramid for humans. So today I'm going to go into that a little bit. I do have some visual aids that I'm going to be using, and we'll see how this goes. So bear with me, but let me get into some of these diagrams. Okay, so a very helpful tool for just deciphering what type of species the human is, and therefore trying to figure out what type of food is the correct food for us. We can look at some very telling signs. Our teeth, our hands, the length of our intestines, our overall physical makeup is very, very telling. So again, just like the car analogy, another thing is you wouldn't feed the wrong type of food to the wrong animal because it would get sick and die. So, if you have a pet bunny, a rabbit, you're not going to feed that rabbit the cat food, the meat, because that bunny is not a carnivore. If it eats carnivore food, it would get sick and die. You feed the rabbit food because it is an herbivore, so it needs to eat the plants. Just like if you had a polar bear or a wild cat, you would not feed that cat horse food, hay, or carrots, because that cat will not be able to thrive off of the hay. It has a completely different genetic makeup. It is a true carnivore. Therefore, it is one of the only species, polar bears and cats, wild cats, that eat meat, raw meat. So with that being said, I'm going to use this visual aid for showing our teeth, how this shows what type of species humans are. Okay, so if we look at our teeth, stand over here. All right, so you can see the human teeth here, and then we have different categories of what a carnivore is, what an omnivore is, what a frugivore is, and an herbivore. So those are the main 4 categories of types of species of different animals. As you can see, the human teeth most resemble the frugivore, the primate category. We are most like the primates. We are in a primate category of species. You can see that we are definitely not carnivores. We do not have these sharp teeth to kill and bite and rip flesh apart. We don't have the omnivore sharp teeth, which, is used again for eating meat and tearing flesh. And we definitely do not have flat, round herbivore teeth that are for grinding the grains. So just by looking at our teeth, you can see which of these 4 types of species do we fall into. We fall in the category of a frugivore. So with that, what is a frugivore? A frugivore is a species that primarily eats fruits, nuts, and seeds. That is what primates are for. They have just that little sharp canine teeth for cracking the seeds and the nuts open, ripping into the flesh of fruit and peeling the fruit. So now I'm going to show you again another example with our hands. The hands show the exact same thing. And I know this is backwards in the words, so you can't read the words, but just bear with the pictures. So again, we have human hands. We don't have paws with gnarly claws, which are meant for, again, killing the prey and ripping open the flesh. We're definitely not a carnivore. We're definitely not an omnivore. We don't have the claws with the padded feet. That's also not where we fall. So we're not an omnivore. And we're not herbivores. We don't have the hooved foot. But if you look at the frugivore, you see hands. These hands Our hands are meant for grabbing, peeling, breaking, eating. We are a frugivore species, which is very exciting. When you learn this information, it all begins to make sense. We've been taught that we're omnivores. We've been taught that we need to eat meat. We're carnivores. We've been taught all of this information that is wrong, anatomically wrong. We are a frugivore species. So once you learn this, everything begins to make sense. If you look around us at all the restaurants, everything catering to food, when you go to the supermarket, you can see how the standard American diet has infiltrated our awareness and is misleading us at every step of the way. If we are true frugivores and we go to restaurants and there's barely any plant-based foods, vegan, anything, it all pretty much is surrounded, the whole restaurant concept is birthed around pretty much meat, dairy, and grains. So when you go to order food at restaurants, it's meat, dairy, grains, sandwiched together, smashed together, built up and down. But sorry, I got a phone call, and yes, I'm back. So I wanted to really hit home about the whole restaurant thing, the showing, how restaurants are impacting. It's not just restaurants, but if you look at the chronic disease, the increase in chronic disease over the years, that is a direct correlation of what we're putting into our bodies. You are what you eat. Therefore, we are eating the wrong fuel, the wrong food for our bodies, and therefore we are getting disease. Our bodies are sick and decaying from the inside out. Okay, so now that we understand that, we realize we've been putting the wrong fuel in our body, therefore we are getting sick and diseases as a result. So coming back to recap this whole thing, we now know the first step is learning what is the correct food for our species. So we have learned that we are not carnivores, we are not omnivores, we're not herbivores, but we are frugivores. That is the species we are. So now that we know which species we are, we can focus on what is the right type of food and fuel for our body so that we can provide our body with the right environment for it to do what it does best, which is heal, thrive, balance, be in equilibrium. All right, the second step, once we know which species we are and which food is proper for us, we can then begin to learn more about that food. And that opens up true awareness, knowledge of how to heal ourselves. So being a frugivore species, we are meant to mostly eat fruit and some nuts and seeds. Some vegetables are great. But if you think about vegetables or any other food, let's just talk about any other food right now besides fruit, nuts, and seeds. Any other food, including vegetables, because this is a huge argument against veganism or against plant-based diets, is that plants have pain too. So when you kill plants to eat them, they have pain as well. So to touch on this, yes, everything is pretty much amazing and has the life force of the divine running through it, including plants. So we don't need to get into that here, but I want to show you fruit, on the other hand, you do not kill it. It is the only food group that we do not kill. It is nature's divine candy, the food for us from God. Truly, it is sitting there on the vine waiting for you to pick it, to eat it. If you don't pick it and eat it, it falls to the ground and it says, here is a gift for you, but I'm going to go to waste because you guys aren't eating it. So it falls on the ground and rots, and then the bugs eat it, and the cycle of life continues. So truly, this is how magical fruit is, nuts and seeds. It is a food group that we do not have to kill. It doesn't feel the pain. It is truly a gift to us to help nourish, heal us, and strengthen us for this journey we call life. This journey is intense, and we need as much energy and high vibration and love and being centered as possible to get through it. There's so many ups and downs and emotional distress and curveballs in this magical journey we call life. So therefore, knowing now that fruit is a gift from the divine that has everything that we need, it is the right food for us, we can now begin to see how eating that on a daily basis is going to help heal us, strengthen us, and prepare us for this journey, prepare us to be in our best, highest versions of ourselves possible. So the next topic I want to touch on is called angstroms. What are angstroms, and are they in fruit? So the answer is yes. Angstroms are in fruit. They're in food. It is an energy a tool for measuring energy particles in plants and food. So I'm gonna try to go through this analogy. Bear with me. If I mess up, just bear with me. But I'm gonna explain it to the best I can right now. So everything has energy, a certain voltage, if you will. That voltage is what is going to give us energy throughout the day. Again, going back to the car, you can't go forward, you can't go driving if you don't have gas in your tank. So that is the fuel, the food for the car. Gasoline is that food for the car to help it sustain it and make it run throughout its day. So fruit being our food, our fuel, without that, we're not going to run. We're not going to get through our day. So as angstroms are concerned, just to get throughout our day, just to wake up and go through our normal day, we need a certain number of these energy particles. Let's just call it prana, living prana. The fuel, we need a certain amount of these angstroms, energy particles, voltage, to get through our day. So if we're getting the fuel from what we eat, what we put into our mouth, that is directly giving us the fuel to help us run throughout our day, then you can see if we're getting enough to help make it through the full day. And a lot of people go through the caffeine. They have to take caffeine to get through the day. They have the 3 o'clock slump where they get really tired and drained. And so you can see that we're not really having enough voltage to get through our day. So coming back to angstroms, let's just say we need 1,000 angstroms a day just to get through our day. To wake up and to go back to sleep after a full day, we need, let's just say, 1,000 angstroms. So we eat the standard American diet, the SAD diet, and we have some sandwiches, some snacks, maybe we have a salad because our mama told us that salad's good for you. But overall, we're really eating snacks, processed foods, things out of boxes, and we're in a rushed state. So with that being said, we're barely making that 1,000 angstroms. We're barely getting to that 1,000 angstroms. So we're tired by the end of the day, we're shut down, and we're stealing from our energy reserves. All right, so if you think about what food has how many angstroms, this is going to be the key to regenerative detoxification. If vegetables have 300 angstroms. Let's just say eating a vegetable is going to give you 300 angstroms. Eating some cooked food grains, it's going to give you, let's say, 20. And meat and dairy, it's dead, it's depleted. So let's just say it has 5, or it's very low. So if we're eating the standard American diet, we're barely getting to that 1,000 angstrom. I forgot to mention, so fruit, let's say fruit, because of its living prana, it has about 800 angstroms. So to get to that 1,000 angstroms, we need some fruit and maybe some vegetables, and we're there. Whereas if we're eating the meat and the dairy, we need to eat a ton of those grains at 5 angstroms, 20 angstroms, and some vegetables at 500. We're barely getting the energy particles we need to get to that 1,000 just to make it through the day. And this is where it's so exciting about the fruit. The fruit has the most energy, the most voltage, the most living, vital nutrients that we can get. So therefore, it takes a lot less fruit to give us the energy that we need to sustain us throughout the day than it would by eating anything else, any of the other food categories. And that is why, again, fruit is the divine's gift to us. It is there to sustain us and fuel us and give us the energy and the prana and the angstroms that we need. Okay, so that's a lot and I'm rambling, but bear with me because this is important information. So coming back to that, if we want to touch on regenerative detoxification, how do we regenerate our body through detoxification? So because fruit is the right food for us, fruit has the highest amount of energy, the highest amount of angstroms, the highest amount of voltage. It also is made up of all the amino acids that we need. It has the nutrients and the living water, the structured water that we need to hydrate us on a cellular level. It truly is the perfect food for us. And if we need 1,000 angstroms just to get through the day, to regenerate our body, we need to have more energy than just enough to get through the day. So we have the 1,000 angstroms to get through the day. To regenerate our body, we need to give it, say, 2,000 angstroms. Now there's extra voltage that can go and give your body that jump start to go and repair the damaged parts. It now has extra energy to go and fight off the disease, to go give extra energy and love to the parts of you that are damaged or weakened or having a sickness or chronic issue. When we have more angstroms, more voltage than what we need just to get throughout the day, that's where the regeneration happens. Okay, so you getting it? It starts to make sense after a while. Our bodies are amazing self-repairing vehicles. We just have to get out of the way and give them the right circumstances so that they can do what they do best, and that is heal themselves. So I don't want to make this video much longer, and I'll probably do another one summarizing it better in the future, but overall, now you have the basic idea of regenerative detoxification. We have to find out, A, what is the right food for us. We learn about why it's the right food for us. We start learning about the energy voltage and how much energy that we need, excess energy, to start repairing our body. Then we give it those circumstances, and therefore we are able to start the regenerative process. Okay, so I hope you guys stuck with me through that. I only had a couple interruptions, but let me know in the comments what you think, what you thought of this presentation, if you've never heard of it before, if it's eye-opening, if you disagree with it, whatever. I would love to hear your thoughts. Please, please, please. Comment, share, like, subscribe, whatever, do all that. But really, I wanna dialogue with you. I wanna hear your thoughts about this important topic. So, okay, much love to you all. Until next time. Bye.